Hello guys, I am Vikas Ambore, my YouTube channel, Class 9 CBSE. Today I am going to discuss socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution, 1917. Today we are going to discuss this chapter. This is the history second chapter for Class 9. So as we studied in term 1, the first chapter, French Revolution. Today we are going to discuss term 2, the first chapter, socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution. And the first topic of this chapter is the age of social change. In this topic, we are going to study, first of all, what were the changes after the French Revolution in other European countries. We are going to study. So here we will see, in the previous chapter, the French Revolution, we studied about, we studied about French Revolution. In that French Revolution, we learned about equality, liberty, and fraternity. It influenced other many countries, French Revolution, and many were inspired and were influenced in India also. They were, first of all, the first guy was Rajaram Mohan Rai and Desrosiers. Rajaram Mohan Rai was social reformer of India, and this guy Desrosiers was an English Indian poet. He is the first poet who belonged to India, and he is British. So, and in this topic, the age of social change, today we are going to discuss in this topic is there were many kinds of people in here Europe. There were many after the French Revolution. Some thought that there was a need of change in their country also. They started thinking about that. Then there were three kinds of people. First of all, liberal-minded people. These were the people who wanted, gradual change. These were the people. And some were radicals. Radicals were the people who wanted very fast change, intensive change. And some were conservatives. Conservatives were the people who wanted no change. So we'll study about those guys very briefly in the next topic. And so now the next topic is, we are going to study the next topic is, so now the next topic is liberals, radicals, and conservatives. Today, and the next topic is liberals, radicals, and conservatives. We are going to study about them. So now we studied the age of social change. In that we studied about the French Revolution opened up the possibility of creating a dramatic change in a way in which society was structured. The French Revolution opened up the possibility of creating. The French Revolution was like a base revolution, and it was the first revolution. And it made some dramatic change in other countries of Europe. Not everyone in Europe, however, wanted a complete transformation. Some were conservatives, while others were liberals and radicals. So we somehow studied about liberals, radicals, and conservatives. So now we are going to study about those guys very briefly. Liberals, radicals, and conservatives. First of all, we will discuss about liberals. Liberals were the people who wanted changes gradually. These were the people, they wanted the changes very slowly or gradually. And next, these followed secularism. These people were secular by nature. They didn't act in any favor of one religion. There were two kinds of religion in Europe. The first was Catholic religion and the second was Protestant. They didn't act in favor of no religion, and they believed in elected parliamentary government. These were the people who who believed in elected parliamentary government. And the next is they didn't believe in universal adult franchise. These were the people who didn't believe in universal adult franchise. So these guys, the liberals, we can't say liberals as Democrats. We can't say these guys liberals as Democrats. And the next is they gave only voting right. They wanted to give only voting right for men who has property. They wanted to give only voting right for the men. The man who has property, they wanted to give voting right for only them, not for women. And as I said you, these were secular by nature. And the next are the people, they are radicals. Radicals are the people, they wanted an intense change, or very fast change. They wanted the change radically. And these guys were Democrats. We can say radicals as a Democrats because radicals believed in universal adult franchise. And the next the next point is radical had an idea that property must not be in few people. They had an idea that there should not be the property which is in the hand of few people. And next point is radicals participated in women suffragette movement. These were the people, the radicals. Radicals participated in women suffragette movement. They wanted to give voting right for women also. They wanted to treat equally for all the people. And these radicals participated in women suffragette movement. And these radicals were in majority. If we compare liberals, radicals, and conservatives, radicals were in majority. And these guys, radicals, needed equality. They wanted to give equality for all the people. And the next were conservative peoples. So first we'll discuss about radicals here. Wanted a nation in which government was based on majority of a country's population. They wanted a nation in which government was based on majority of a country's population. They wanted a government in which the government should be based on majority of country's population. And they disguise concentration of property in the hands of people. As I said you, these radicals they didn't want to give a property. The property should not be in the people or less people. And the next is not the existence of private property. They wanted there should not be private property. And the next people are conservative people. Conservative are the people they resisted change after the revolution. They started accepting change provided it was slow and had links and respected the past. These were the people who didn't wanted change. These were conservatives were the people who didn't wanted the change. But after French Revolution, they got an idea that some changes was necessary, and they started thinking. They accepted the change and provided it was slowly, and they wanted the change very gradually or slowly. And they wanted a government like constitutional monarch first. But before French Revolution, they wanted. But before French Revolution, they wanted monarchy. But after French Revolution, they started thinking, and they started accepting the changes. And they wanted a government like constitutional monarch, and monarch should be respected as the past. The monarch should be accepted by all the people and respected. And the next is, radicals. These people oppose radicals and liberals. Conservatives oppose radicals and liberals. And the next is industries and social change. The industries and social change. Industrial and social change. This was the time of economic and social change. Men, women, and children were forced into factories for low wages. Liberals and radicals who were factory owners felt that workers' effort must be encouraged. So now, industrial society and social change. Here, industrialization came into some countries of Europe from 1760s to 1820s. First of all, we'll understand what is industrialization. Industrialization is nothing but rapid growth of industries in cities. First of all, rapid growth of industry in cities. First of all, this industrialization was started in Britain, and then in Germany, and then other countries of Europe. So Britain and Germany were the two countries which experienced industrial revolution for the first time. These were the two countries which experienced industrialization or industrial revolution for the first time. The next, what was the main reason for industrialization? So now we are going to discuss. The main reason for industrialization was people like farmers, weavers who lived in rural areas, they didn't get work there. So they started coming to urban areas. They came to urban areas and started working in industries. Thus, there was a rapid growth in industries. Rapid growth in rural areas. And this industrialization, first of all, happened in Britain and then in Germany. Here we will discuss radicals and liberals. These were some 30% of radicals and liberals were factory owners, and other 70% of liberals and radicals were workers in those factories. Because of industrialization, population started increasing. Housing was the problem, sanitation was the problem, then water supply was the problem. So people started living in slum. Because of housing problem, sanitation and water supply problem, people started living in slum areas. They started getting diseases. The people of Europe started getting diseases because they were living in slum. And the next was no security for workers. There was no security for workers, both in industries and slums. And child labors were there in Europe, and women who didn't marry were also treated as workers. They used to work in factories. And the next is owners such as radicals and liberals started reacting to this. Some owners who were radicals and liberals, they started reacting to this. There was a subsistence crisis in Europe. Then lack of transportation. There was a lack of transportation because of heavy population. And the next was long working hours, then poor wages. The people experience long working hours, then poor wages. So now we are going to discuss some socialists. The first is Louis Blanc, Robert Owen, Karl Marx, then Friedrich Engels. Louis Blanc belonged to France, Robert Owen belonged to England, Karl Marx belonged to Germany, and this guy, Friedrich Engels, belonged to Germany. These were the some socialists who wanted to do welfare of the people. And radicals and liberals wanted to improve lifestyle of poor by doing rallies, strikes, etc., etc. Some radicals and liberals wanted to improve lifestyle of poor people by doing rallies and strikes. As I said, you first of all, based on economic activity, this society of Europe was divided into two types: capitalists and workers. Capitalists were the people, aristocracy people, clergy people, some radicals and liberals, property owners, investors. These were belonged in capitalists. And in workers class, they were working people. Those were socialists. So now who were aristocracy people? Aristocracy were this guy. It was the kind of government. Aristocracy was the kind of government. Aristocracy was a kind of government in which the king or a monarch won't listen to the parliament or a government. He has his own right to change rules. And the next is, so they were before French Revolution. Before French Revolution, the society of Europe was classified as estates and orders. Orders and estates. The society was classified into orders and estates. And the next is Britain, Austria, Prussia, Russia fought against France in 1815. It was divided and abolished feudalism. After the fighting of Britain, Austria, Prussia, Russia fought against France, against that guy, Napoleon Bonaparte, in the year 1815. It was the Battle of Waterloo. It abolished feudalism and it was divided. And some nationalists, liberals, radicals wanted to oppose monarchy. There were some peoples like nationalists, liberals, radicals. They wanted to oppose monarchy. And there was a man called Joseph Mazzini. He was the father of Italy unification. And the next topic is, so we will discuss what is socialism. Socialism in Europe. So what is socialism? We will discuss now. Socialism. Socialism is nothing but an economical or political theory according to which all the properties of nation are controlled by community as a whole and should be distributed to the people based on their ability and contribution. We can say this socialism as it is as a political theory, principle, I mean, principle, we can say anything. I mean, economical or political theory or principles or rules according to which all the properties of a nation should be controlled by a community and should be distributed to the people based on their ability and contribution. There should not be private property. This is socialism. So, socialism in Europe. Socialists were against private property. They had different visions of the future. Some believed in cooperatives, some demanded that governments must encourage cooperatives. So here in socialism in Europe, this is the again a subtopic of this chapter. Here we'll discuss the coming of socialism in Europe. So socialism in Europe was widespread in Europe in mid-19th century. It was widespread in Europe in mid-19th century. So why socialism in Europe was widespread in Europe? Because liberals, radicals, and conservatives wanted change. These guys wanted change. In 1850s time, Karl Marx made his mind in 1848. He wrote a Communist Manifesto. This guy, Karl Marx, he is a father of socialism. He is also called as father of socialism. He wrote 2 books. First of all, Communist Manifesto and Das Kapital. Communist Manifesto, he wrote after 1848. And spread in 95% of Europe after 1850s and in Russia. Yeah, Russia means Europe. Everyone wanted socialist party. People started thinking about the socialism. They started thinking about socialism. They wanted socialist society. So now here, before going to Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, we discuss about some cooperatives. So first of all, we'll discuss what is cooperative. Cooperative is nothing but an association of people in which all the people are invested and profit should be distributed based on their ability and contribution. This tells cooperatives. And the next is, there are 2 kinds of cooperatives. One was Robert Owen and another was this guy, Louis Blanc. Robert Owen belonged to England. He was born in 1771 and died in 1858. He was a leading English manufacturer and he formed a cooperative called New Harmony in a country called Indiana in USA, and that cooperative should be encouraged individually. Some were the people who opposed cooperatives and some government should be encouraged. Some wanted the cooperative should be encouraged by government. And a guy called Louis Blanc, who belonged to France, born in 1813 and died in 1882. He was also a socialist. He wanted a government which should be encouraged by, he wanted a cooperative which should be encouraged by government, and he opposed private cooperative. The next is French Revolution abolished monarchy, slavery, and feudalism. As we studied in first chapter, French Revolution abolished monarchy, slavery, feudalism. Yeah, and now we are going to study about these guys, Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. These were also socialists. Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels changed definition of socialism. These were the people who changed the definition of socialism. These were radicals. They said capitalists are root cause or socialists. Some socialists and these guys, these were also socialists, Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. Some socialists said that capitalists are root cause and social evil. And these guys, Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, said that capitalists should be abolished. They wanted to abolish the capitalist. And these Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels added the industrial society meant capitalist society, which was not profitable for everyone. Marx believed that a socialist society would free workers from capitalism. This would be communist society in which collective ownership of land and factories would be promoted. Here he said, this guy Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels changed the definition of socialism. They wanted to, workers should build their own government. he wanted to workers should oppose the private property. These guys, radical, Frederick Engel and Karl Marx wanted to do radical socialist society, which is also called as communist society. They said radicals should do communist society or radical socialist society. Both are same. So why did these Karl Marx and Frederick Engels said like? Because they were well concerned of people, and capitalists are not taking care of workers. They observed that many were the capitalists who didn't took care of workers. These capitalists started taking work from workers, and they started becoming richer and richer. And these guys, workers, are becoming poorer and poorer because these capitalists took long hours of work and gave low wages. And the next is socialism given support. Socialism given support or support for socialism. So here, workers in Germany and England began forming associations to fight for better living conditions. They set up funds for members in distress, reduction of working hours, and right to work. Here, this is the subtopic of this chapter, support for socialism. Here, an organization of socialists, which was made in Paris, which was called as Second International. It was made of some 20 countries, established in 1889. The aims of this Second International was to coordinate efforts of socialists. And there were some liberals and radicals started making political parties in different countries of Europe. In Germany, they made Socialist Democratic Party, which is also called as SDP, in 1895. And they made Labour's Party in Britain and then Socialist Party in France. These political parties were ran by liberals, radicals, and conservatives. Until 1914, socialists never formed a government in Europe. Until 1915, the year until 1914, socialists never formed government in Europe. These political parties and liberals, radicals started making conferences, sessions, functions conducted in every country. They started making sessions, conferences, functions in all over the country of Europe. In those conferences, sessions, functions, they started highlighting problems of workers, creating a massive support, and fighting against government for rights, and help financially to workers. These associations or these political parties, SDP, Labour Party, Socialist Party, they started helping workers financially. Socialists were member of parliamentary government. Some socialists were member of parliamentary government. In parliamentary form of government until 1914, the member of SDP can't form a government because these parliamentary form of government until the year 1914, the members of Socialist Democratic Party can't form a government. Thus, this complete the first part of this chapter. And in next chapter, we are going to study about the Russian Revolution, which was happened in 1917. Thanks for watching my video, guys. Subscribe my channel and share it, like it. Thank you.